So you guys just wrote your last ever Afrikaans Paper 1. How does it feel? And, well, here's the memo to put some of your worries to rest or even make you a bit more worried, just in case you didn't get all the right answers. So, we're going to have a look at our advertentie. So, this was an ad about Albany. Feel the freshness, feel the satisfaction. Attention, all mothers. Goedkoop, that means cheap. Slechts means only. It's only 10 rands. Buy it at Checkers, ShopRite, or Pick and Pay. And it's the most delicious sandwiches for you. Man and kinders, husband and children. And then we've got quite a bit of contact information at the end. For any inquiries, complaints, or comments, contact Albany's client helpline. And we've got a cell number and we've also got an email. Okay, let us have a look at the questions. So 3.1, keep in mind the target audience for this ad. Who is being spoken to directly in this ad? Mothers. Mothers are being spoken to directly in this ad. It's attention, all mothers. 3.1.2, what information about this bread makes people want to buy it? Well, it's only 10 rand. Silly me, I skipped 3.1.2. Verduidelik waarom ons kan sê dat hierdie tekengroep 'n voorbeeld van stereotypeer. So how have they been stereotyped here? Is that mothers make sandwiches for their kids, to broodjies, instead of fathers. So dat dit gewoonlik net ma's is wat vir hulle kinders to broodjies maak en nie pa's nie. So mothers make food, and with 3.2 it's just 10 rands. 3.3, die correcte antwoord uit die tussen hakies, so choose the right answer from the possible options in brackets. So with this little thumb, the advertiser shows us that people will not make a mistake in going to buy the bread, or they will make a mistake in going to buy the bread. Since it is a thumbs up, we know that they are not going to make a mistake, that buying the bread is a good decision. It's a thumbs up and we should go ahead with buying the bread because it's only 10 rand. It's cheap, it's nutritious, anything along those lines. So it's the one with ni over here. 3.4, waarom dink jy? So why do you think that it was clever of the advertiser to use the photo of the little girl? Why did they utilize this photo over here? And it plays on our parents or the target market's emotions. So dit speel op die ouers gevoelens. And we see a very happy and cute dogtertjie over here with bread in her hand. So dit speel op die ouers gevoelens en hulle sien 'n gelukkige en oulige dogtertjie met die brood in haar hande. Anything along those lines would have scored you the mark. Or even something like this. As hulle kinders die advertentie sien hulle 'n klein meisie wat gelukkig is met die brood. So nou wil hulle ook die brood hê. So anything along those lines would have scored you the mark. 3.5, we've got an intensive form here for goedkoop. That's just going to be sport, to emphasize that something is very cheap. Sport goedkoop. 3.6, kyk na die inligting onder die prente. So look at the information under the picture. Skryf 4 opeenvolgende woorde, so consecutive words, wat 'n mening is. Wat 'n mening is? 'n mening, that's an opinion. So die heel lekkerste te broodjies. That is an opinion. Why? Because it says it's the most delicious sandwiches. Well, that's their opinion that it's the most delicious sandwiches. There could be other better tasting sandwiches. So this is very biased. It's very charged wording to further illustrate, just how good this Albany bread is. It makes the most delicious sandwiches. Motiveer jou antwoord. So to motivate your answer, dis iemand se opinie. It's anyone's opinion. Mag dalk nie dieselfde voel oor hierdie tipe brood nie. So maybe not everyone feels the same about this bread. 3.7, gee een woord vir man en kinders. Man, husband, and kids. That's someone, well, these are members of your family, but not your extended family. So that would be familie if you speak about your uncles, aunties, cousins. This would be your immediate family. So we use the word here, gesin. And 3.8, waaruit kan ons aflei? So from what can we conclude? Aflei means to derive or conclude that Albany would like to know what people think of their product. and write it in your own words. Okay, so they want some client feedback. They're listing contact details. So they're giving us the cell number and the email address. So hulle gee hul selnommer en e-posadres sodat mense klagtes kan maak of kommentaar kan lewer. So, we can leave a comment or anything along those lines. So that's the advert. Next, we have a look at our strokiesprint. So in Rampie 1, hallo ma, so hello mom. Here's a form from school that you need to fill in, that you must fill in. Jy moet word. Nee, jy kan dit invul. Ek sal teken. So you fill it in. I'll just sign it. But look, it's a form. Dit is jou afdeling. Like, you should be doing this. Jeremy, jy's 16 jaar oud. Like, look, you're 16 years old. Do it on your own. Like, you're old enough. Dit is tyd op jou eie bene te staan. So it's time to stand on your own legs. Jeremy's like, okay. And then he writes this really heavy writing. And then the mom, look at her neck just to exaggerate everything. Dit is die mooiste wat jy kan skryf. So like, oh, like that's the prettiest, that's the nicest that you can write. So like typical mom behavior. Okay, so question 4.1. In Rampie 1, Jeremy gives his mother a form from the school to fill out. Hoe kan ons sien? So how can we tell that Jeremy is not interested in the form? Name one visual sign. Well, he's not even looking at his mother. He is completely disinterested at what is going on here. So his back is turned against her. So sy rug, his back, well, his entire body is gedraai terwyl hy die vorm vir sy maag gee. So his back is turned away. He's not interested. He's not even making any eye contact. 4.2, skryf die verkorting tussen hakies in Rampie 1 voluit. So here's, we've got a contraction here. Here's should be, here is. Write it out in full. 4.3, kyk na Rampie 2, kies die korrekte antwoord uit die tussen hakies. So Jeremy's mother's reaction to what Jeremy tells her is that she felt sorry for Jeremy or was upset with Jeremy. What do you guys think? So 4.3.1, it's definitely vererg. Maybe let's not use sorry. Vererg is like annoyed almost. Annoyed. Like almost like, she's like angry at him for like being angry. So yeah, like a sad kind of annoyance, but simply annoyed. So she's annoyed. The answer here is going to be the portion with vererg. 4.3.2, motivate your answer to 4.3.1 by explaining what the mother does, not what she says. So if you look very carefully, sy gee vir hom die vorm, maar sy stoot dit in sy hand amper soos sy hom forceer dit terug te vat. So basically, she gives him the form back right in his hand. Like, look, hey, I'm not going to do it. You should do it. Like, you're old enough. So anything along those lines would have scored you the mark. 4.3, kies die korrekte antwoord uit die tussen hakies. So the use of the slips in Jeremy's words tells one that he's angry at his mother or he's unsure as to what he should do. What do you guys think? Is he angry? Is he unsure? Well, he's unsure. He doesn't really know what to do. He's a bit confused. He's just 16. All of this is pretty new to him. Ellipsis, or otherwise known as slips. So anything with these three dots, there's a space, it's an ellipsis, ellipse, or slips. I know you guys use different words for it. He's just unsure. So he's like kind of thinking. It just fills in the blanks, like verwaardheid. He's not entirely sure as to what he should do. 4.4, kyk na Rampie 3. Hoe weet ons dat Jeremy se ma nou anders teenoor hom optree? So look at frame 3. How do we know that Jeremy's mother is acting differently towards him now? So if you look very carefully, she's putting her hand on his shoulder. So sy sit haar hand op sy skouer. She's putting her hand on his shoulder. 4.5, die korrekte antwoord. Jeremy se ma sê vir hom dat hy op sy eie bene moet staan. So what exactly does this mean? So look, the answer here is definitely going to be B. One of my students who sent it to me actually ticked it. Moet leer om selfstandig te wees, so to become a bit more independent. Meer oefening, more practice, min tyd, so you don't have much time to like complete the form or just fill it in neatly. It doesn't mean anything like that. You need to become more like independent, more aware, more like self-sufficient. 4.6, hoe wys die visuele in Rampie 5 dat Jeremy nie daaraan gewoond is om die vorms in te vul nie. So visually in Rampie 5, how can we see that he's not really like used to filling in forms? What is evident here? Well, it's his signature. He's scratching things out. He's just making, everything look very ugly, like a pig's breakfast. So 4.6, hy krap die eerste ding wat hy skryf uit. So he scratches out the first thing that he writes. 4.7, Jeremy Sama se optrede in Rampie 6 is ironies. So how is it ironic here? Voltooi die sin onder. So Jeremy Sama wil hy moet die vorm self invul, maar, so why? So a translation of 4.7, Jeremy's mother wants him to fill out the form himself, but even while he's filling it out, she begins to criticize him. Oh, that's the best you can do, that's the neatest you can write. So, maar kritiseer hom wanneer hy dit doen. So criticizing him when he's actually doing it. And 4.8, skryf die sin hieronder oor as 'n vraagsin, so write it as a question sentence. Dit is die mooiste wat jy kan skryf. And if you just change it up to ask, hey, is that the nicest that you can write? Is dit die mooiste wat jy kan skryf? Question mark. Okay, it's question 4. Question 5, as I said multiple times in all the other YouTube videos, you only need to read it for context, but for the most part, you can just start nailing down some of these questions. So a nice samenstelling here. Liefde plus projek, all you do is add an S. So liefdesprojek, die getal tussen hakies. So that's 30. We write it as 30. Gee die onbrekende voorsetsel in. So it's hulle, die stories. 5.1.4, skryf die sin in die indirekte rede. So write it in indirect speech. It's currently indirect speech. So it becomes Tandeka het. Sorry, looking at the wrong one. I just skipped over to 5.1.5. So we get rid of the colon, get rid of the inverted commas. Said dat, not my book club, haar book club. She's got female pronouns. Tandeka said at haar book club, die enigste, so we remove us, it moves, die enigste leesplek. And now we introduce us again. So this goes all the way there. Wat die kinders het. So, I'm going to repeat. Tandeka said dat haar book club die enigste leesplek is wat die kinders het. And that's how you rearrange it. Now we've got a nice infinitive question here with the infinitive in 5.5. So everything else remains the same. So we just keep this as is. We introduce the immediately. So vir haar neefies en hulle maatjies het 'n boek, and that's lees. So te lees. So all we do with this question is we add an here, we add a te here. So vir haar neefies, te lees. That's it. Die correcte antwoord, verniet of geniet. The answer is geniet here, to enjoy something. Verlede tyd. So we need to change the sentence in verlede tyd. So verlede jaar, besluit is a verb, so it moves all the way to the end. We get a het. Besluit? No. It already has a b. Same with ver or or anything along those lines. So we just add a het here, the besluit goes to the end. That's it. Voegwoord aangesien. With aangesien, everything in the first sentence remains the same. We add in our aangesien over here. Aangesien, say, die bere. And our het goes all the way to the end. So in summary, our first sentence remains exactly the same. We introduce the aangesien and our het goes to the end. 5.1.9, lettergrepe. So it becomes bak, stene. That's syllables. Antoniem van veilige. Veilige is safe, but it's die byvoeglike naamwoord. It's safe in adjectival form. So the opposite won't be gevaarlik, it would be gevaarlike. Gee die correcte Afrikaans vir gangs. That would be bende. It's plural, so one gang would just be bend. This is plural, so bende. Homoniem, so dier. This is a lovely one. We did it in all the other videos. So homonyms. Words that are spelled the same but have two different meanings. So dier and dier. So it also means door. So maak die deur oop. So like open the door, make the door open. Or die deur van make the door to my room is green. Of my room is green. And another dier like ek is dier, like I am through. Or die wind klap, die deur toe. So we need to give two possible ways for this homonym. Gee die vergrotende trap. So it goes goed, then beter, then beste. Beter, so B-E-T-E-R, sorry for the handwriting. That's the vergrotende trap. Beste would be the oortreffende trap. So answer here is just going to be beter. 5.2, we've got our print over here. We've got a boy with brown hair, a girl with probably blondish, whitish hair, and they're picking up litter or trash. Gee die meervoud from of hemp, so it would be hem de. We drop the p, de. Skryf die sin in die leidende vorm, so leidende en bedryvende question here. Die kinders gooi die gemors in die sakke, well, in sakke. So there's our subject, there's our object. So we start the sentence off with die gemors. Word dier, it is in present tense, so die gemors. And then we introduce word dier. Now we introduce our subject again. So die gemors word dier die kinders in sakke gooi. Gee die verlede deelwoord. So the past participle. So it already has a ge. We don't say gebruik. So nothing like that. It's simply gebruik. And then to make it into participle form, we just add a te. Verkleinwoord van heining. So we have a G here. So same with pisang, it would become pisangki. This would become heining ki. Ontkenning, so negative form. Die kinders is al klaar met die werk. Die kinders is nog nie klaar met die werk nie. Is nog nie klaar met die werk nie. Correcte woordorde. So we use a bit of stompie here. So die kinders werk elke Saterdag, that would be time. In die parkie would be plek. Fliks would be manne. So it would be die twee kinders werk elke Saterdag in die parkie. Fliks in die parkie. So let me just repeat. Die twee kinders werk elke Saterdag. So that's 1. Fliks 2. In die parkie 3. And that's it. So if you didn't have the best paper, you still have a bit of time. You've got a chance to nail down your paper 2. I am going to release quite a few paper 2 videos closer to the time. You guys are writing on Monday, so you have time to prep. Look, you've got one last Afrikaans paper. Some of you are pushing for the distinction, and the distinction is made in that Afrikaans paper 2. You're either doing Lien, Fila, Palia, Skoorverhale, Afrikaans poetry, whatever you're doing, start your preparation now. It is only 70 marks. It is the smallest of all 3 papers. But look, there's still time to change your fate. You can do it. There's one paper left. One last Afrikaans paper. The last ever literature paper that you're going to write in secondary school. Make it count. It's one last shot to change everything. Look, if your paper didn't go well enough today, it's fine. Whatever, put it behind you. There's nothing you can do now. Don't mope around. I made this memo so that you guys could just see where you went wrong, where you went right, and just to get a little bit of, closure that everything is done now, it's over. Look, if you're writing economics in the next session, or you're writing geography or accounting, just get it done. And then this weekend, start intense preparation for paper 2. You can do it. You can still change your fate. It's not over yet. Stay in the fight. I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.